Soul Garden.
Hello my heroes, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update. From my webcam to yours, I'm your host of the universe, Christopher Witecki. And hurry while Witecki supplies last. I have one more week in my sale. Buy a 60-minute reading with me at soulmart.me. We'll throw in a free 30-minute follow-up by the end of 2012. This is excellent for first-time readers and superb if you want to blast through an issue. So if you want to blast through those marriage issues, come on down. Let's take care of it. We are working on our reality this month. If you are a Ram, the Aries, or you're working on your long-term lifestyle, if you have an Aries rising, either way, it is time to change what life is. That's what we call the IB state of awareness. Reality, which is really what most people think all of reality is. I mean, until we started getting spiritual on the planet, if it wasn't solid, if you couldn't see it, it didn't happen. It didn't exist. Now we're really shifting to where our awareness is getting to focus on the moment just before reality, which is, of course, light casting, etc. But this is the one month where you deal with reality. And if you want to change your reality, this is the month you should change your reality. Now, for just some quick exercise, remember the IB state of awareness comes from our heart chakra, and this is the second month you'll be working on your heart chakra, which is the green energy, the chlorophyll of the universe as well. We're in the first stage, or the first 10 degrees of this, so this is the live stage. The 3 stages of Virgo are live, love, be. And when you're in Aries, this comes down to really your health, how you perform on the planet, and your overall lifestyle. So to be an Aries is to be in the moment. To be an Aries is to be a performer. To be an Aries is to be commander-in-chief of your lifestyle. That's what it's like to be an Aries. So as we start off on Monday, we are breaking through. Mercury rules the day, and over the weekend there was the first breakdown. So something in your lifestyle might have broken down. This might have been health, your water heater, your car, your babysitter quit. Something broke down. Why? Well, because it was built out of straw, if you want to use the 3 little pig kind of phrase, or it's because your life has outgrown it. Lifestyle needs to change. Now, IB also involves how we live in the moment, literally, how reality feels in the moment. And so it's also about how you choose to be in the moment. Do you choose to be angry? Do you choose to be sad? Do you choose to be weak? Do you choose to be the victim? How do you be in the moment? That's really the question. But looking at the stars on Monday, the planets are giving us a bit of a traffic congestion. This is a double square that happens once the moon opposes Venus in Cancer. The moon is in Capricorn. So on Monday, emotions are focused on career and legacy, and feelings are all based around being in control, but that's at odds with your own personal needs, says Venus in Cancer on the opposite side of that. You want to have your overall well-being be more strong, more grounded, more centered, more taken care of, but perhaps the emotional needs of your career are pulling you away. And then the square in the center, Saturn in Libra, which is what we are aggressively wrapping up between now and Halloween, is also throwing problems in the mix, which is your marital partnerships and perhaps your long-term financial or business partnerships. So business partnerships, emotions around career, and will I be able to eat today? Those are all the things at odds on Monday. So Monday is a learning day, and the universe really doesn't, I think, want us to move too much, which is indicative here with that double square. On Tuesday, things get peaceful and nice. Venus rules the day, so we're going to restore giving and receiving. The moon is now in Aquarius, allowing you to detach from career issues, and emotions will focus on your social life. So sunny and social for the Arieses on Tuesday. Also, Venus ruling the day means that your health, your lifestyle, your daily awareness can restore to peace as well. So this might be you bouncing back from being ill if you had a breakdown in your body, or you fixing the water heater now if you had a breakdown in your house, etc. So Tuesday offers those fixes. But the planets are offering a yod. A yod, which is God giving us the finger, today pointing to the sun at 6 degrees, and it's triggered by the moon up in Aquarius and Uranus at 7 degrees retrograde coming into the sun, the yod. So what this says in a nutshell is this. For this day and this day only, because the moon will pass through this period for a certain amount of time, GA will text you during the exact points if you're watched over by the guardian agency. But take your feelings about where you feel you belong in society, says the moon. Be willing to let your intuition guide who you are, says Uranus. And that will allow you to restore balance and order. So it has to do with intuitively putting yourself in the right position, feeling yourself in the right context of society, and using society and ego identity to kind of triangulate where you need to be in the moment. That's what the planets say. Universe, thank you. On Wednesday, it's hump day and there's a lot going on. Neptune rules the day, so it becomes a very intuitive day. It's a cloudy day. Cloudy but social is my prediction for the Rams. So your feelings will be, again, centered on social life, context, reputation, friendships, etc. That's where your feelings are. But the learning, of course, is in lifestyle, and the planets are kind of complex. Now, I've always been able to kind of read how energy goes since I was a kid, or since I've looked at planets anyways. And this is kind of, this blue line is kind of how things are going. Let's start with Pluto. Pluto represents where it's time to change, where you make decisions and whatnot, career, legacy, otherwise. So the day really starts with being a little bit more lubricated and allowing yourself to reconsider certain decision-making policies in general. You might be just crazy about having it your way, not because your way is the right way, but because you were fighting once upon a time to have it your way. So loosen up a little bit. You're going to have it your way or whatever, and allow yourself to decide differently. Allow yourself to change your mind about the way you change your mind. That's okay, says Pluto in Capricorn. Giving yourself that permission, then you can kind of intuit where your lifestyle is supposed to be with the sun. Now, another connection is Mars and Neptune during the same day. And what this is saying is, at the same time, as you're loosening up with decisions, Mars says you're going to have some breakthrough boundary drawing. Some breakthrough boundary drawing, which means opening up to yourself or closing down to someone else wherever it's necessary. And that blue line to Neptune says, as you break through those boundaries, you're going to feel greater by yourself, a higher sense of yourself. So the boundary was one of the hot spots. And then finally, that boundary issue with Mars talks right back to the sun in a sextile. So this says, well, once you've drawn your boundaries, you'll realize intuitively this is part of what needs to happen. So you and everyone on the planet, but you in particular, really try to figure out where you belong in life by being flexible in your decision making and at the same time being willing to act on new aggressive boundaries. And all of this leads to Neptune, which means you'll have a higher faith in yourself at large. So a pretty powerful day if you follow the grid. On Thursday, it gets sharp, sunny, and rather serious. That's because Saturn rules the day. And after all that kind of balance beaming yesterday, hopefully today you can make some decisions about what must go in your daily life. What's going to go? That's what our first decision is in the live stage of Live, Love, Be. So in the live stage, what has to go? So making that laundry list, I decide, that's really the most important thing. You don't have to actually give anyone notice at this point. Just decide privately in yourself what you're going to change. Don't worry about what it's going to cost or how you'll do it. That's God's job. We'll come up with that in chapter 3 in the B stage. But now it's time to decide what must go. And it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, we're going to do it. Now looking at the planets, we've got really the completion of yesterday's fantastic grid. By deciding down there at the sun what's going to go, well, Mars says, let's go ahead and cut it away. And today what's fascinating is our emotions move across that Neptune. So by following through with this, your emotions will actually follow through. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the grid on top. And let's get rid of that map. As the moon crosses Neptune, it's actually moving into your subconscious, all right? And by moving into your subconscious, you're going to find that you are getting cloudier and cloudier. Maybe you're getting more and more psychic, and you are detached from life. As you get into this groove, if you surrender, in other words, you surrender to your decisions, you make the necessary cuts and boundaries, then what happens is you will feel the inner faith like you haven't felt. And this interesting fireball you see here on the other side is actually what we call Chiron, a comet asteroid. And this is a healing energy that's retrograde at 7 degrees too, which means that by following through with this process on this particular Thursday, Chiron carries it through to sort of heal your whole life. And that's what Chiron does. It heals your whole life from one particular lesson. So it's a fascinating day if you follow the grid I just gave you. Then we get to Friday. Now Friday is kind of a fun day because it's a full moon Friday, which means it's an exciting Friday, you know. And this is the Friday that, you know, I talk about in the Act 3 videos. This weekend is the weekend we're making some major wrap-up decisions that are putting our life on the right direction or not on the right direction. And this is also the weekend where you must decide about long-term relationships and must decide about marriages. So this is the weekend where it all comes together. But first, personally, Friday is about action. Mars rules the day, and I think that might make you a little aggressive at first. The full moon is really bringing light to all of your past where things didn't go right. This is the full moon in your subconscious. This means that you really should not operate heavy machinery and you should not drive under any influences, because the full moon in your subconscious is rattling your cage. But that's really what this is about. This is kind of like that He-Man kind of moment, I think, with Aries that we all see Aries go through. Come back, Mr. Happy. Oh, wrong happiness. You were stormy that day. But it is that moment where we break through, and that's really what this full moon is about. Let's take a look at the planets. Whoops, Mr. Happy. Now, as we well know, the full moon is an opposition between the sun and the moon. And so we are caught in a tug-of-war in a full moon. That moon, now that it's helped you heal from the past, might have given you a new faith. So today you're feeling it, right? You just can't take it anymore. Now, what you can't take anymore is the sun. The sun is focusing on your reality on the other side. It's God versus reality in this opposition. And what you want to change is your lifestyle, but it is your overwhelming sense of inner faith, or if you haven't done the inner faith work, overwhelming sense of I can't take it anymore. Either way, that's what pulls on the sun and gets you to like rise up against your own life challenges, and that's really what a full moon is. This is why people get into car accidents and stuff, because they're actually denying or suppressing this energy, and as a result it comes out its best way. Also interesting of the day, Mercury is 0 degrees. So our minds are offline as the universe says to us, hey, it is time to jump. It is time to act. And that's what you're going to feel. You're going to be building up to a moment to act. Now, at the same time, very fascinating, this green line represents a sextile, or a trine, excuse me, between your feelings of inner faith and feeling well taken care of. Remember earlier in the week you were feeling like you weren't well taken care of, you were broken down, it was career versus self-nurturing. Well, now you will feel the self-nurturing if you go through the process of releasing in the full moon. So the full moon is a powerful day, and we'll see you in the garden. On Saturday, we hold space. It's cloudy and private for the Rams. You're going to hold space. That means you're going to just say to the universe, I'm squatting on what I just got rid of. So I just threw out all this trash in my life. I just decided to step away from this chaos, step away from not feeling good, and I'm just going to squat in my new lifestyle. As the day progresses, the moon moves out of Pisces and into Aries, and what that does for you is make you feel stronger and stronger as the day goes on. We kind of have a complex compilation of everything happening over this weekend. This is why I made the Act 3 videos. This is why this particular one is so long. This is a very important week, so watch your Act 3s. There are lots going on that I want to point out that's super important. On the one hand, over in the corner, Mars and Saturn trining into Neptune. Remember, this is the weekend where you must decide whether or not or where you are committed to when it comes to marriage and partnerships. You don't have to do anything about it, but you must decide this weekend. That's what the Act 3 say. You must decide, okay? Now those decisions, basically Saturn is a decision maker, Mars is got a hacksaw up in the house of boundaries. As you decide, you'll be immediately cutting boundaries, and these two blue lines say these add to your inner faith. If you did the inner faith earlier in the week, that inner faith will pour down into Mars and Saturn, giving you the energy or the faith to make the necessary decisions. At the same time, the moon in Pisces moving into Aries is trining Venus, as we talked about earlier. So all this inner faith work is building a feeling of overall security at the moment. You see these pretty red lines between Jupiter and Sun? The red lines represent that you will be afraid. Your mind is going to create fear. So you've got to not necessarily listen to your thoughts. Remember, Jupiter is helping you think differently anyways. You're halfway through that transition. So we really can't trust our thoughts right now. Remember, Mercury just went from 0 to 1 degree itself, for our mind is literally coming online. And the red lines means that the mind is being a troublemaker in this transit. So complicated day on Saturn day, okay? We're kind of coming down off the moon, and we're holding space, and we're squatting. Then on Sunday, it's IB Day. Why is it IB Day? Well, this is a new holiday I'm creating, actually, because the sun is at 11 degrees. 11 is a healing degree. If you don't know, numerology is a healing number. Virgo is the healing sign, healing number. It's time to be what you can be, and this literally is IB Day. And funny enough, you are sunny and cool on IB Day. Check this out. God also gives us an IB Day a yod, another yod. This time the yod points down into what you be is what it's pointing down into. This time, those new boundaries in Mars that you've been hacking on all week long. This new way of living reality, which is the sun. The universe is saying, take those new boundaries, take this new reality, and feel your new ego as the moon crosses Uranus. Not just feel your ego, but a new evolved, new 2.0 or 3.0, whatever version you're at this point. I'm running 3.9, but whatever version you're running, it's time to rise up emotionally to the occasion of this new you that is breaking free. And you will feel the new you and feel the new ego, which is what you are anyways, but it stems from these strong boundaries preserving peace and you living in the new IB reality. So you squatted yesterday, today you beta test what it feels like and you feel it. And I think you're feeling sunny and cool. So it's a really, really powerful week, and you can tell we're doing some super important work. All right, my Rams, good luck with all that. I got to get out of here. This is 15 minutes now. Have a great week. I'll see you in 7 days. Live, love, be.